Distinguished friends, fellow Malaysian, distinguished priests that I just heard him towards the end earlier. Fellow Malaysians, a very good evening. Salam sejahtera. Salam sejahtera. Alright, I will speak louder, don't worry. Assalamualaikum. Selamat malam, salam informasi, salam makal sakti. I'm not quite sure though, but I think I am preaching to the converts, maybe preaching to the preachers. I'm not going to be deliberating at length here. For I believe that after 8 March, we would have thought that the government of the day that had overstayed their welcome should have at least learned something. That democracy is about voters making informed decisions, and they truly have reflected their decision in the last round of the 12th general election. And we would have thought that out of all this, it said as a political tsunami, some said they were given a bloody nose, some said they were massacred, whatever be, we would have thought that after 8 March, a dawn of a new, something at least that would resemble reform. And all of the reform that urgently need redress is this very draconian law that put you in prison without giving you a chance to defend yourself. Kita sudah merupakan satu negara bangsa yang bertamadun, and having this piece of legislation in this way does not behove, does not conform to the fact that Malaysians are now alert, enlightened and civilized, and such legislation is totally in contradiction with and against the aspiration of this new Malaysia and Malaysians as a whole. So I don't think I need convincing you tonight that this piece of legislation must go, because it is incepted during the emergency. And you have in the emergency law the ordinance Darurat 1960 now still in place, and we have passed by that emergency rule for a long time, and yet this piece of legislation is still around. And because it is around, it is easily abused. Let me tell you this, that coming from the Islamic Party of Malaysia, for some of you who are still having that kind of, I wouldn't dare to even say it, but then, let me be frank with you, that we are all for the total repeal and abolition of this Internal Security Act, because not only it is against universal values, but as well it is against the principle of Islam. There is an Islamic legal maxim that says Al-Aslu Bari'atu Zimma, that everyone is innocent unless proven guilty through the procedures and the court of law. That sounds very familiar, doesn't it? Somehow it converges, and all good values do converge, and that is our many common ground that we can work with and we can work on. And for this reason, and this is the reason alone, that I see that there is a real future the last election wasn't about the victory of three parties, namely PKR, DAP or PAS. The last election was about the victory of essentially three ethnic groups, three religious groups, three cultural groups. Out of all these decades of Malaysia suddenly found themselves to understand each other's uniqueness and to celebrate our plurality. And this is what we have right now. And it is very promising and very consoling indeed. There's a verse in the Quran, if I may say, with this permission, that says, Ya ayyuhan nas, inna khalaqnakum min dhakarin wa untha, wa ja'alnakum shu'uba wa qaba'ila lita'arafu. O you mankind, this is a verse not just for Muslims, it is for all mankind. It's a beautiful thing. O you mankind, you have been created from Adam and Eve, and thereafter made into tribes, nations, with different languages, so that, not so that you wage war against one another. The Quran says, Li ta'arafu, so that you know and understand each other. And the best of you in the eyes of God Almighty is the one most righteous and most pious. So I think with that, we all must stand up to any form of injustices. And certainly the ISA is a piece of legislation that is against the entire humanity. You know when they will really appreciate that it's against humanity? When we send them there. So when we get into the government, we should not immediately reveal it. We should allow them to experience that for at least a week. And then we will say, thank
you. To let Dr. Sri Syed Hamid Alba try the international standard food that he's so proud of.